So we are going to create a widgets feature. So first things first, we'll create a directory. We'll call this widgets. From here, I'm going to create a new TypeScript file, and I'll just call this widgets.ts. No. And then we'll go export class widgets. I will decorate this. All right. There we go. I'm going to just preemptively create a couple things because I know I'm going to need them. We'll go widgets service dot ts. I see your hand come up. Yes?
There's a question on the server's running on port 3000 and the app is running on 3001. They're just wondering, is there some kind of configuration allowing the cross origin to avoid all those CORS errors?
CORS errors.
I shouldn't get any CORS errors.
No, they're asking, is there something that's being done that's preventing that from happening?
The JSON server command line tool just is CORS enabled.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's all handled already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're just asking how it was working.
In this case, it's magic. It's like the awesome JSON server, the best JSON server in the world in the GitHub repo. And so I said, well, this is what I got to use. And it actually just worked. So that's actually, I got that tip from John Lindquist from Egghead. I noticed that basically in their workshops they use JSON server. Well, actually, once we get into server communication, we'll mock out some actual JSON and we'll add it to the db.json folder that's actually serving that up. So I'm just going to quickly create a widgets service because we're going to need this as well. I know I didn't mention this in the challenge, but since we're here, actually, let's still, yesterday was picking that up. I don't know what happened. So we're going to import. There we go. And I'll just go I'm really getting ahead of myself here, but whatever. Okay. And then in our widgets component, we are going to just import this in. Because we just want it to be available for this particular component. There we go with that fuzzy. We'll inject this via our constructor. Okay. Now let's, for the sake of just making sure that this works, let's go here to the items component. Then
So you're importing it into the items component and not the app?
for now.
Okay.
So if I was doing a route, then I would just probably import it wherever I'm doing the route definition.
Yeah, I thought that was the instruction, sorry.
Well, so if that's as far as you got, you're ahead of me, actually. So I am doing the path of mostly least resistance. We'll just go here. So now we're going to add this. What I'm also going to do, because I do not, and this is not going to work because I did, real quick, notice that I'm using single quotes. I've actually done this more than once, and that's not how that works. Actually, I think it would work here, but because I want to break this into a multi-line template using ES6 string templates, make sure that you use backticks.
What beautiful color coding.
What's that?
Yeah. Color coding. Storm's awesome.
Yeah, that was worth $100 right there. And we're just going to bind this and dump it into the screen. Let's see if this works. I'm basically making a deal with God right now. Like, if it does, like, I'll never tell another lie again. Oh. And there we have it.
You can never lie.
I can never lie again. Oh. That's like a paradox almost. Now, does anybody have any questions about what I've done thus far? To my friend in the back, were you able to get JSON server working? Good. So everybody's working. 100%, no student left behind.
There's a question in the chat. Are all of our providers for all the components not just services? Providers for.
Yes, so when providers, services, I think there may be some nuances in there, but that's mentally the connection I make. Like when I say providers, it's a service. Directives are other components. Although that is interesting, now that I think about it, that they would make the distinction between components and directives in terms of their semantics, that, you know, a component is a directive with a template. A directive is essentially a component without a template. But then if you wanted to inject another component into your component, you do it via the directives. Well, I guess that makes sense because a component is a directive. I stand corrected. Man, figuring things out on the fly.
And so that thing I said yesterday about not needing injectable if you're a component or a directive is true because directives inherit from injectables.
Inherit from what?
Injectable.
Oh,
Injectable is the base.
interesting.
Application.
So if someone or my friends out in the universe online, if they didn't hear that, directives, the directive metadata inherits from injectable, which is interesting. You are one step closer to knowing everything.